Late Fees besties. The No More Late Fees podcast is now available on Patreon. Subscribe to receive exclusive content including Ask Me Anythings, playlists, live streams, bonus clips, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/no more late fees.
So, Zoe, I went and I took a peek at your YouTube account, and I saw you were going through the was it Rolling Stone's top 100 of all time songs?
Top 500.
500.
That's it. I was saying before, it took me an hour and a half to record that video. There were
Insane.
too many things going on.
But what was more insane was the fact that you didn't know what Back That Ass was. Back That Ass Up was.
I did not know.
I mean,
You're a fine looking woman. You want to back that ass up.
Yeah, he took for the 99s and the 2000s. What?
That song too, it was like they spelled ass like but AZZ, right?
Girl, that's how it was done.
Really?
That was the times. And let me tell you, I don't care if you're in a crowded subway, if you're at a church, if you're at a funeral, let the beginning of that song come on and see people not look around and then be ready to drop it like it's hot. That song will be playing at my funeral.
Listen, I feel the exact same way about WAP. I feel like it is like a travesty that we weren't able to go to the club
and
like
dance to it.
Yeah, but then also there probably would have been a lot of like lawsuits. There would have been a lot of things happening.
Nah, because we did it before. And it was called Back That Ass Up. We've been there before. WAP was just like a predecessor. It just grew from what sprung from Back That Ass Up.
I don't know. If there's no, Megan Thee Stallion like or anything in it, like I'm not here for it.
What? You first of all, you got Juvenile. You don't even know the random things the noises he makes. Oh, you've got to start looking up No Limit Soldiers.
All right.
That's one side. And then, then you have Lil Wayne, you have Juvenile, you have Mystical wasn't in that group, but you gotta listen to him too, because girl, you got nice curves like icebergs. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much. You gotta look into it. But I'm glad that you went through the list. It was really interesting. I do agree that if you don't like Dolly Parton, you should kill yourself pretty much. Like, how are you living?
Listen, yeah, I don't know how you can like go through this earth and just not at least appreciate Dolly Parton. Even if you don't like country music, the fact that like she's just so loving and accepting of everyone, like the fact she like donated $1 million of her own money for COVID, like to find a cure, like because of course she did. Of course she did. Also,
She gives free books to kids.
She bought a house in the neighborhood, in a Black neighborhood on purpose with the money that she got from the royalties of I Will Always Love You, that Whitney Houston, after Whitney Houston died. Like she's amazing.
Talk about national treasure.
National treasure.
She is amazing. And I have seen her in concert. I lost count after 13 different instruments she played. She had like a comedy routine interlaced with her music. She was amazing. I highly recommend, if you ever get a chance, go see Dolly in concert. You will not be disappointed.
I all I want Jackie to do is take me to Dolly World. That's it. That's all I want.
Let's go.
What were some of the surprising songs on the list that you just felt like were way too high, or you're like, what the hell?
Well, I think that Truth Hurts was way too low. Considering it's 497, I was like, nah, it should have been at least 150.
Like, I don't know if I agree with that.
Really?
I love Lizzo, but there are just so many other artists and other songs, because it's how many years all time, they said? This is all time?
Yeah, so this was the first time the list has been updated. since 2003, I think.
Yeah, mm-mm.
Which,
I like it, but I have to ask, in 50 years, are we going to be still singing it? Or is someone going to remake? I don't know.
Yes.
It makes
why men great till they gotta be great? I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that bitch. I want that tattooed across my forehead.
I love it. I don't know if it could, because then when I was going through the list, here's the problem. For Rolling Stone, if they're going to make this list, they need to make sure that the people that are curating the list are a good mixture of people. And I think previously, why you see so many Bob Dylans, why you see so many Rolling Stones, why you see so many Beatles, is because you had cis white men making those lists. And how are you going to put the white men that stole the music from black men at the top of the list? Yeah, that don't make sense to me.
I mean,
the math ain't adding up.
No, I mean, literally in the video, there was a moment that you could see that I realized that Hound Dog was one of the songs stolen by Elvis Presley. I mean, yeah. I knew the history, but to see it like literally in plain sight, and I wish I should have went back and seen the original list, because I'm wondering if that song was even on the original list.
Oh, I could put money that Hound Dog was on the original list.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like there's nothing they love more than Elvis Presley. And
no, it wasn't the Elvis Presley version. It was the original version. That's what I was shocked about, is that they had the original version on the list, and I should have went back and seen if the original version was on the list before, because I don't know.
It might not
part
have
of me is
been.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, we should definitely check, because maybe they're trying to fix some wrongs now.
Which, hey, I mean, still better late than never, but at the same time, you're just like,
yeah.
I mean, because we always can be doing better.
I think it's going to be interesting, because now I feel like, Jackie, do you feel like this, that we're really getting old now? Because remember when our parents used to complain about all these things, like, oh, that's not a movie, or that song, are you kidding me? It's a fucking classic. Now it's, when you hear that they're going to remake one of our favorite movies, they're like, what the hell? You can't touch that,
Which I agree. There's a lot of remakes like in the past 10 years where it's just like, can we not, unless it's like a completely different spin.
Let's not touch it.
Right. Exactly.
My dad used to have the cassettes that were like the Billboard's top 10 for each year of like the 60s. And we would listen to them in the car. And I mean, that was in like the 90s. So we're approaching that point where I could have cassettes of the 90s in my car.
Yeah.
And it would be the same amount of time had passed. I'm like, that's just crazy.
I don't know what, it feels weird when I hate these memes that keep coming up that's saying that 2050 is closer than 1990. Fuck you. Tell me why. That's not true. That's a lie.
I'm sorry, but as if we're going to make it to 2050.
Well, if my TikTok psychics say no, it's a no for us.
I know, literally, in my email, I'm getting you're going to start paying student loan payments soon. I'm like, do they know that in 10 years we're probably not going to be here anyway? So yeah. I've already forgiven my student loan payments. Joe Biden, get on the same plane, please. I'm already moving on.
Yeah, I'm really ready to take out a fake loan and say, yeah, I'm gonna pay it. Oh, I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna stop this, and then
now I'm just looking at the list to see if I have any major grievances.
Oh, okay, I'll let you do that. Oh,
Old Town Road is on this list.
Yeah, I don't make no song. Sense. Not a
okay. I love what Lil Nas X is doing. I absolutely adore him. I think he's such a fresh breath of air. But that fucking song,
I
can't stand it.
But you can't stand it because it plays all the time. And I think the reason why is that song has gotten to the level of a Macarena, or it just did not stop, and it kept going to the point where you're like, I liked it when it came out, but I'm like over it. But in 30 years, when you do a roundup of this time period, that's definitely going to be one of the songs that sticks out.
I don't disagree with you, but I will say I heard it once and it was banned in my classroom. I was like, no, we're not listening to that shit. And even like when the Kids Bop version would play, I'd be like, skip, we're not listening to it. I can't. I Will Always Love You needs to be higher.
Yeah.
Which version? And just all of it?
Whitney
Okay.
is the one on. It's 94.
What?
Yeah, it needs to be way higher.
What's number 1?
Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Oh, okay.
I'm not mad at it.
No.
Right. I was like, I think that makes sense. And I thought it was a nice sentiment too. Like, one, because it hasn't been that long since she left us, sadly, but also because it's like kind of a come together type song. And we haven't been together a lot in this past like 2 years.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of nice.
I just feel like I missed that her shadiness. She was a shade queen.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
Goodness, this thing keeps jumping back to 500. Sorry.
They have it like they have it so weirdly like whatever laid out on the website.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting there. Hold on. Let me get to top 10. Where are you? Just give me a freaking list. I don't need an explanation. Just like an Excel spreadsheet would be lovely.
Yeah, I was really like sad that there was no, like, you know, the BuzzFeed usually has those ones like, how many of these things on this list do you know? Like, I'm surprised they didn't have that for the top 500, because that would have been one, much easier for me.
Yeah.
In the video, but then also like people could have played along.
Yes.
Like that. So I literally had to do like tally on that sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Work It is 56.
That's odd. That's odd.
The song is kind of coming back on TikTok though. Like,
I do like, yeah. No, sorry. Were we
No, I was just saying TikTok. Like it's kind of coming back. Like I'm seeing there's like one where it's like, you know, give me all your numbers so I can phone you, and then it's like a different thing, and then it goes back into it.
Yeah, I love the song, but I'm just shook and I'm surprised. Where is the Beach Boys? I know they're problematic, but I love
the Beach Boys are like in the 50s. Good Vibrations.
There's like 3 songs on there.
I just, despite the fact that they were also in the game of stealing Black music at times.
Listen, you just have to accept it. Like, I mean, it happened. Like,
no, I accept it, but I'm gonna talk about it and make all the white people I know, not you, but when I'm with older white people, I love to make them uncomfortable about it. They don't know what to say.
I mean,
as
you should though. Like, I mean, you.
I will say that the Beach Boys, their harmonization is
the way that
like insane.
Their harmonization, the way they wrote music, like when they figured out, because it was like in the beginning they really did that when they didn't know their voice and like what they were trying to do, but once they figured it out, like their harmonies, the way that Brian would be able to like layer sounds and the different instruments that like people weren't using at that time, like pure genius. Like props.
So yeah, so good. And they've collaborated with Hanson several times, so there's that.
I can't. We were having such a dignified conversation. so high level.
You can't tell me that Hanson isn't really, really good at their harmonies.
I'm not saying
and they write all their shit.
Hanson. I'm not saying nothing about Hanson. That's the point.
You said civilized conversation. They are excellent musicians. They're questionable people, but they're excellent musicians.
Danielle, like this is an intellectual conversation. It's like you pointing that out that it's suddenly not dignified. I'm sorry. Like,
oh, here we go. Get Your Freak On is number 8.
Yeah.
What?
Even weirder than that, Hey Ya is 10.
I thought that in the video, I literally said, you could be in the worst mood of all time, and then you could put that song on, and immediately you're transformed into a different universe.
I like to do the Just Dance game and put the Hey Ya dance on just to get me vibing. But
It's a fun song. But it is not
no.
number 10. Hold on.
Where's Etta
Hold
James
on.
and Otis Redding? Go ahead.
Hold on. Prince is 18 with Purple Rain.
I know. I was very much like, that's not top 10.
What? I'm sorry. Am I living in an alternate reality where Prince is not top 10?
He is.
Outcast, Hey Ya beats him?
No. Even I'm sure Outcast would even say that's not right.
I felt
And
the
then
same
Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody is 17.
Yeah, I said I also kind of, that one I was a little bit like, yeah, I see, but I think just because Bohemian Rhapsody the movie was so recent that I'm like tired of it a little bit. Like I know that's controversial, but I just felt like I heard it too much, especially being in college when Bohemian Rhapsody came out. The amount of like ABBA and like Queen at that moment that I had to like constantly be surrounded by, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah.
But it is a rock opera. Like Freddie Mercury was just like, we're gonna do this thing. And like they're like, it's not gonna sell, it's not gonna do anything. And it's like a masterpiece. It is perfect.
I mean, the Wayne's World Bohemian Rhapsody is the greatest thing of all time.
I disassociated for like a good while there. Sorry.
Your camera was frozen, Danielle. I was like, did we lose her? Okay, so I feel like we have to do this right, and I'm just gonna do the top 10. 10 is Outcast, Hey Ya.
No.
Number 9 is Fleetwood Mac, Dreams. I'm okay with Fleetwood Mac.
It's great, but it's not top 10. It's not.
The thing is, I talked about this in my video, was a lot of these songs, the reason why I think they're on the list of like, top 50, or like, how did this make the list? It's because of like kind of what you're saying before, like the cultural, touchstone or something that they had. Like the whole Rumors album
was amazing.
You know what I mean? Right.
So it's amazing.
You can kind of see like, oh, that really did like kind of, either transform the space in some type of way or
but okay.
Like that.
If we were doing albums, hell yeah, that Rumors album, amazing. Bohemian Rhapsody and Dreams, like,
yes, I also agree.
What?
I agree.
They were classically trained. Nobody had, like, it's a rarity the way that Freddie Mercury could get the pitch in his voice. Like, no one's doing it like that. No one.
Yeah.
No one. Like, no one did music like they did. And to this day, no one could duplicate it. Like, somebody can duplicate Fleetwood Mac. I'm sorry.
No, 1,010%.
What the fuck?
Okay. So number 8 is Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On. We've already given our opinions on that. Number 7, the Beatles, Strawberry Fields Forever.
They were so high when they made that, they don't even know the song. What?
Yeah, right.
Number 6, I am not mad at Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. Marvin Gaye was amazing. Yeah, he doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
For Black people, his albums, especially when that song and that album came out, like, because there was so much turmoil in the country and what they were going through, and he was able to use the music to vocalize that, the pain, the struggle, the strife, the frustration, and the fact that even many years later you could put it on and it's still relevant to what the hell's going on right now is really amazing on one hand, but also very sad on the other. So yes, I think that's fine because it just speaks to the time period.
Yes. Number 5, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. I have mixed feelings. Yeah. I feel like Nirvana was doing some really new, fresh stuff.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's their best song though.
That's what I said in my video. I also was like, I agree it should have been on this list, but not this high. But then I also, again, kind of what I was saying before, the like I think us being, especially now that like 90s and stuff like that, 2000s, like with the internet and stuff like that, we're all kind of revisiting
Yeah.
that time. I think that also probably contributes to the fact why it was so high as well, because we're all revisiting it. And the fact that like Kurt Cobain, after all these years, that we still like hold him as such like a high place, like not only in our hearts, but just like as a music artist.
Yeah.
I think that probably has to do with it as well. I mean, only recently they like, which I have my own thoughts about, but they like, just released the journals that Kurt Cobain had, and I very much was like, but like but it's still relevant to this point where it's like people still want to learn more about Kurt, even though it's been so many years since he hasn't been with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 is Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone.
I'm not surprised. I mean, like,
I don't get the appeal. I actually, here's Jackie's hot take.
Okay.
I think Jacob Dylan is way more talented than Bob Dylan is.
I can't agree or disagree. I mean, I know he did that song. I don't know much. That he had one hit for me, and it was One Headlight, and I don't know much more about him, so I can't agree or disagree.
Number 3 is Sam Cooke, A Change Is Gonna Come.
I'm fine with it. It's another song again of speaking to that turmoil, that time period that was very relevant to the Black community, to the whole entire, like the 60s, the Vietnam War, all that stuff kind of, well, I don't know if it was Vietnam War time yet, but yeah.
Number 2, Public Enemy, Fight the Power.
Yep, 100%. Rap.
Yeah.
See, the problem is with rap in the beginning, and I don't want to be like this person who's just like rap music from the early time period when it came out is the only rap that matters, but it was a time before commercialism, capitalism, all that stuff got ingrained, and it was really used as a way to communicate, where you had the younger generation of African American people speaking about their turmoil in a different way and using kind of poetry and rhythms in this new form. And Public Enemy wasn't about like, let's come together, we're sad, we're upset. It was like, fuck you, we're angry, we don't want it, we're not doing this shit anymore, we're a totally different generation.
Absolutely. And then of course number 1 is Aretha Franklin, Respect. Okay, I have a couple of questions. Was Ed Sheeran anywhere on this list? Because I think, hold on, I think he is incredibly talented, and even if one of his personal songs are not on the list, something he has written should be on the list.
I agree. I was going to say, he's got to be.
Yeah.
He probably was.
Yeah.
I can't recall.
And then the other question I have is, did Childish Gambino, This Is America, make the list?
It did not, which I was surprised.
Any of his songs?
Redbone.
Okay.
Which I was kind of like, yeah, but
I love Redbone, but I mean, I'm glad he's on there because.
But I absolutely, was surprised there wasn't a This Is America on there.
Yeah.
But he is brilliant in everything he does. He can't do anything wrong. And I so appreciate him. His stand-up is great. His acting is great. His,
oh my God.
His musical career.
Community. Like Troy and Abed in the morning. Like they're so good.
And he is so endearing as a person. Like you just like, I don't know. For me, he just makes me happy watching him.
Atlanta's fantastic. Like,
yes. Even when he had like that really tiny part in The Martian, you're just like,
or Spider-Man.
Yes. I just adore him so much. Okay, that's my Donald Glover Childish Gambino tangent.
I just want to know which artist or band had the most showings on this list. That would be, I mean, if I were going to guess, I'm sure the Beatles is up there, Madonna, maybe Michael Jackson, the regulars.
Michael, not as much as you would think.
Interesting.
But again, it could be that he was on more of the 2003 list. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't do my research there, but
Stevie, okay, one that I feel like should be in the top 20, top 30 at least is Stevie Wonder and so many of his songs.
Yeah, I remember
absolutely.
Definitely Superstition and Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I do remember seeing on the list.
Okay.
At some point.
Oh wait, someone made a PDF. Thank God.
Great. Another person would be surprisingly Lionel Richie and the Commodores. Lionel Richie, people sleep on him, and the amount of his writing skills, impeccable. He's a great writer.
He's amazing. I lied. That was the old list. I'm still looking for a list.
But due to time, I think we need to start recording the episode. I feel like this is a great bonus episode.
Yes,
I feel like I found my people.
Yes,
like you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
We haven't even started the episode. We've been recording for like an hour.
We're at 27 minutes for this discussion. So definitely a bonus episode. Or if we can't record one week, we'll just be like, listen to us rant about the new list of